So we last went to India in 2022, and the first thing that we had, along with my, I guess then fiance, was this pink milk. Our family just brought some from the store, and she loved it immediately, and till now has been wanting me to make it. It's delicious. I just always had it in my mind that it's super complicated, not worth the hassle. I was wrong. This is incredible, easy, and kind of unique. It's kind of striking. You're gonna need edible rose petals. I first thought that I can just go to the flower shop or the supermarket and just get roses. And I did that. I bought some roses from the store. But before I cooked it, I looked up, can I eat this? And apparently there are different types of pesticides and things that are used in decorative flowers or gift flowers that's completely inedible, and don't even bother trying it. Get the edible stuff. Amazon is your friend here. So the first thing you need is to make a rose syrup. And it may sound complicated, but it really is just rose, water, and sugar. First thing you want to do is get all that red color and the flavor, the fragrance into some water. So my rose petals are here. I'm gonna put that in a saucepan along with some water, and you want to bring this to a very gentle simmer. And it might take close to 15, 20, up to 25 minutes to gently leach all that color out of the petals. And it kind of looks from beautiful dried rose petals to kind of gross gloopy stuff. But that's what happens, I guess, when you boil something and the color just bleeds out of it. Keep it going until it looks kind of like this, and then squeeze the hell out of the dead or even more dead zombified rose petals to get all of the color into a bowl as you sieve it out. And now you want to return that water back into the saucepan and then add in your sugar. And you want to bring this again to a very gentle simmer, turn the heat to low, and then cook this out until this has thickened slightly. Again, 15 to 25 minutes is perfect. So this is your rose syrup, and not only this pink or gulabi milk, but you can use it for all sorts of desserts. One of my all-time favorite ones being Faluda. I've never made it, I've only had it, but just tasting this rose syrup, I still have some left over. There's so much that you can do with this. It is actually incredibly fragrant. Now we come to the actual pink milk recipe, because the syrup was one of the most important parts of it. And if you're lazy, I don't want you to be, but if you're lazy, you can literally buy the syrup at the store, or if not the store, somewhere online. So all you need is milk, rose syrup. I'm gonna put some rose water. Don't try to take a sip of it. I did. It's nasty. You need only a little bit, because a little bit goes a really long way. And you also need a little bit of ground green cardamom. Now, let me get to the big caveat with the pink milk recipe. And that's why I'm not showing that big caveat-esque ingredient right now. So to actually flavor the milk and give it that rosy fragrance and sweetness from our syrup, from the rose water, all you have to do is put as much of the syrup as you want into the milk. You can always add more or less. Then touch off the rose water. Really just depends on how much milk you're making this with. And then you ground green cardamom. There's also some saffron that I'm using in here, and I'm using the ground variety. So to actually flavor the milk, you want to first add in that saffron, and then you add in as much or as little of your rose water. And what that's gonna do is really put all that fragrance, the aromatics from the rose, and the sweetness from the sugar in that milk. That's your main flavoring. And then touch of the rose water, again for aroma, and that rosy flavor, and ground green cardamom. If you've never had something like this before, go with the subtle flavor. Don't go overboard with the ingredients. Put a little bit and then add more as you want. My recipe here is going to be the middle ground. Not too strong, not too subtle, but that's again to my scale. Now you want to actually shake this now, and what you'll notice is after you've shaken all these ingredients well, and no matter how much more or how much less of the saffron or the rose syrup, which is actually pretty rich burgundy, you add, it's not going to turn pink like the pictures that you see over here. That's because the pictures are so because of color. And if you're against color, don't add it. The color does not affect the flavor one bit. So if you're making this for yourself, you don't care, don't add it. But if you want to like do something special, some pizzazz for your guests, add the color. It looks kind of cool, it's striking. And garnish it with some more of the edible rose petals. I still kind of feel funky about eating flowers. I've never really done flowers that much in my life, but it's kind of nice. Well, let me know how you feel. Let me know what version you're gonna make and how you feel about color in your food, artificial color. I'll see you on the next one.